Hello and welcome to an update and feeding of our African night crawlers who are now in our urban worm bag 2.0. So when I left, I gave these guys a nice feeding and also some leaves. And I was anxious to see how they did. So the lid has some moisture on it, but that's perfectly fine. What interests me is the material inside and how the worms did with the feeding. And I can tell you right now, all of this is castings. Just beautiful castings. And it does not feel wet at all. You can see how easily everything just flakes apart. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. They really worked this material over. And I bet they are hungry. This is all larger pieces of egg cartons from my last batch of moist bedding. And I'm not really finding any food. This is a zucchini, and that's going to take a little while longer for it to decompose in here. Let's see if I dig around a little bit if I can find any food. We got babies. And some skins. And I'm not finding food. Interesting. Okay, so this is one banana skin that was not frozen, and you can see that it also takes a little while to break down, but we see more babies. So as far as I'm digging, I'm not finding any large quantities of food at all. And they really did work that bedding over. It's all bedding here. So they are due for a feeding. Gotta keep those little monsters happy. But I think they really like this bag. I know I do. Not have to worry about anything drying out in here. So we're going to give them some dry bedding on top before we put on the food. These guys seem to really like carbon material. At least that's what I've noticed in my bins. And so I give them a little extra. And then we have a nice large feeding. As usual, some of this material is still partially frozen because it just does not get as warm at night as it used to, and that's how I defrost my food. I take it out of the freezer, leave it in the garage to defrost overnight, and it doesn't always do that. So I have some apples which I know take longer to decompose, which is good. That means they're gonna have a little extra once they finish with this salad bar. We have green beans and some lettuce and strawberries. You should enjoy this very much. And then we have our eggshell on top for grit and buffer. And now, the pièce de résistance, I am giving them some more moist bedding, but with some leaves. That's another batch that I did. Added some leaves. We have a lot of material that burned, a lot of trees that burned in the fires, and this stuff is really good for them. They will enjoy it, I'm sure. They have so far. So what I do is I just take some of the newer bedding, the moist bedding, and I add some of the older bedding that already has the microbes built up, and it was sitting for a couple of weeks. And I mix it in, and that way I just get things started a little bit faster. And that should be good for them. So they're all fed up and good to go for another week. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you next week.